One of the things our team was really surprised about when we got here was the beauty that is so apparent in Haiti. From the beautiful mountains to the beautiful ocean, and of course the beautiful people who have a resilience in the midst of great trial. We've been touring around various places in Port-au-Prince, Haiti that were destroyed by the earthquake back in January of this year. We all remember the earthquake, we all remember the images that we saw on our TV screens, but something happens when you actually come down here and see and hear the stories, see the people, hear their stories, and really experience what's been going on down here.
For me, it's kind of been a trip of just trying to absorb, take it all in. I'm not sure I processed. I'm sure I have not processed at all. I mean, I just drove the streets. I don't know how to begin to think about what people who went through those few seconds and their whole world looks different. People they know, their friends, their family are gone. They walk the streets that they grew up on, and completely devastated and different. In tent villages now. Can't even begin to think how they begin to process and go through that.
As we drove around and looked at some of the damage from the earthquake, it was pretty overwhelming. The vehicle that we were riding around with got really quiet when we drove through there. But when you look at the people, they were adapting, they were figuring out how to get it done, and the survival skills kicked in. But these are people, they're not a lazy people, they work hard. As you drive around the streets, you see them working hard, you see them doing what they need to do to take care of their families.
Probably the most eye-opening for us was this church that we visited on a street called Carrefour. And this is a church that has 3,000 people in membership. This is a church that on every morning at 4:30 in the morning, over 1,000 people would gather together and pray. Now it's a church where they're trying to rebuild, they're trying to get a roof back on, and they're trying to have a space where people can worship again together in community there.
Probably the greatest need is just the basic needs of food, water, shelter. One of the experiences that stands out to me is we went to the Saline, and just seeing the children there, and they just flock around you, but the missionary we're with pointed out the orange hair, that's a sign of malnourishment, the distended bellies, a sign of malnourishment. So the basic needs are lacking. Even though it's devastating, they're hopeful, they're encouraging, they're surviving, and they're survivors.
We worship a big God, and the same God that we were worshiping down here in Haiti, my wife was worshiping at the same time back in Marion, Indiana. So their God is our God, and to watch them worship and to watch them celebrate His love through this time and events was pretty inspiring for me.
They sang a song in church this morning, and it's my favorite memory so far. When the missionaries interpreted it for us, what it meant was, because Jesus is on the throne, everything is already okay. And that's amazing. We walked the streets and we saw the buildings, and we felt the hurt of the people, and then they stood there and sung a song that said, you know what, this is bad, but Jesus is on the throne and everything's already okay. That's what I'm taking back.